Groups don't get any more mixed than this. Two-time winners of the World Cup, including the country that won it for the very first time in the very first edition. And of course, one country that is making their first appearance at the World Cup alongside a country that is making the first consecutive appearance at the World Cup. That group, if you visage the group in your head, I know there's a lot of battles going on there. But then, of course, that is our introduction to welcome you to Group H that includes Spain, Cape Verde, Saudi Arabia, and Uruguay. I remain Anthony Uche, and this is our preview to the 2026 FIFA World Cup right here on DOTT TV. And like I already mentioned, we are going to take on Group H today, which includes Spain. Spain qualified through the UEFA qualification process, made light work of their group, didn't drop any points really, dropped 2 points, yes, but only considered 2 goals in 6 qualification matches, and those 2 goals were away against Turkey, who eventually did follow through the playoff parts. But for Spain, absolute dominance in possession of the ball, off the ball, they press it so much to get it back from you. And Luis de la Fuente announced his team for the FIFA World Cup, and for the first time in the history of the World Cup, there is no Real Madrid player going with the Spanish national team, but still, the Spanish national team is full of people who know how to play football, especially when they have it in possession of themselves. Barcelona, of course, dominate the invitation list, but you also get the likes of Real Sociedad players as well as players who play at the lower divisions, the lower clubs in the La Liga, which emphasizes on the ability for the Spanish national team to pick players from a variety of clubs towards the same goal. And then, of course, Spain won the 2010 World Cup. That is their only success at the FIFA World Cup, but they've come close a few times after that. But I don't think they'll get any closer to having a team challenge for the World Cup than they have right now. And then, of course, they are joined alongside debutants Cape Verde. Cape Verde, or Cabo Verde, as a lot of people might call them, qualified out of a group that has powerhouses. Cameroon, through the CAF qualification, finished first on that group, topped Cameroon by a couple of points. And like I already mentioned, they are at their first World Cup appearance ever. And in such a historic moment, it is very, very easy to see reason to wish Cape Verde the best of luck. And then, of course, Saudi Arabia, their qualification process is nothing short of a mad roller coaster. Started off with Italian manager Roberto Mancini in 2024. Halfway through the qualification process, he wobbled and fumbled. They sacked him, brought in Javier Renard, who was the manager or the coach who took them to the 2022 World Cup. Remember that miraculous victory against Argentina in the opening game, and led by captain Salem Al-Desarawi. He took over, made sure they qualified eventually for the World Cup, and he stepped aside. So they're going into their World Cup with the third manager in as many as 5 years. That in itself is a very, very funny coincidence and very, very funny story. But Saudi Arabia, nonetheless, go into this group looking to hold their own in a group, like I already mentioned, that includes Spain. And now we head over to Uruguay. Uruguay under coach Marcelo Bielsa, of course, Argentinian, did something that a lot of people could see as a big flex in the qualifications, for CONMEBOL. They defeated Brazil and Argentina on their way to the World Cup. Like I already mentioned, that is a big flex on its own. With a team who play the highest tempo you can possibly find in international football under Bielsa. Of course, if you know Bielsa's game, you understand that Bielsa likes teams that run for 90 minutes and 100 if they have to. If you could remember, flashback to his Leeds United team and the teams he's coached before then. And that is no different to the Uruguayan national team. Although they've wobbled and fumbled in the last few games, a few friendlies, including a very significant loss to the United States of America, Marcelo Bielsa is still expected to lead the Celeste into what he said might be his last tournament as a coach. And hopefully, for the sake of himself and, of course, led by Captain Federico Valverde, he might go on to make something significant of this Uruguay team. A lot of stories, countries who have already won the World Cup, and a country who are making their first appearance at the World Cup. What do you think will happen? For me, I think that group is one to watch out for, because there will be a lot of drama, a lot of stories, and perhaps just one shocking result from Cape Verde or Saudi Arabia in that group. That is our review of Group H here on our preview of the 2026 FIFA World Cup on DOTT TV. I remain Anthony Uche, and thank you for watching. See you in the next one.